It's a
Howdy,
good
howdy.
time. Woo!
Actually, the funny part is it is a good time.
It is a good time. It is a very good time. It's a
It's a
very,
great
very
time
good
to be a
time.
Star Citizen player.
It is. And with that, we're gonna say right off the bat, today's show is gonna be a super short one. We don't have a
Very
whole
small.
lot of news, but I also gotta run, so I
But
wanted to get you
we
guys a
still want to
show.
bring. We still want to get information to you guys because there was one final ISC this week, and ooh, it's a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna fire all that information straight in your brain holes, straight in your ear holes.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves. But yeah, so before we jump into that, and I'll say it again at the end of our between 20-30 minute show, this is going to be our last full form show in like this segment, at least the segment structure, until after CitizenCon. Um, just because they're not going to give us much information in the next couple weeks, it would suck to get on show here and like have nothing to say. I believe next week we're going to stream the Blockade Runner event, though, so that'll still happen. And then after that, who knows?
Yep, we'll probably hop in, do some little shows. Maybe we'll just stream some games. But the Star Citizen information train is slowing down a little bit, which in reality is a good thing.
Yep, because it means more things are happening in the verse.
And after CitizenCon, the rambles are going to be real.
Yeah, we're gonna have episodes here where we're just gonna sit down like thumbs up asses, and it's gonna be just an absolute nightmare. And I hope you guys are ready for it, because it's gonna be
because it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening, and it's gonna be whoa. Like without a doubt, it'll be whoa.
Fingers crossed for very, very good CitizenCon.
Which, like, all things considered, I think we're shaping up for a really good one. But again, to jump straight into what we saw, oh my goodness, engineering.
And engineering is it's good.
Yeah, we saw a lot.
It's looking a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and it's a lot more in depth. Where I'm actually as dumb as it sounds, I'm excited for my ship to catch on fire.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to have my ship catch on fire. It's not even funny because it feels like ships are going to catch on fire, and it's going to be a cool little bit of game and a cool bit of like system. I don't know how that. Yeah. I don't know how best to say that, but like you're going to actually be able to fix your ships
and genuinely, truly fix them.
Well, and like, I was gonna say soft death is over, but like, the hard death is over. Hard death's gonna be over all the way through Star Citizen as a whole, because like hard death now is gonna be overloaded power plant or like something physically getting blown up that is capable of exploding.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I feel like is really important to talk about, but I want to leave the power plant for last because I feel like that's the most critical component now.
Exactly. I'm gonna fire the stream over to the browser capture. Hopefully that works, and then we can show a bit of the stuff. Yeah.
So first off, one of the big things we've seen it for a while is fires are actually going to happen inside ships. So some critical component gets hit, your shield generator, a bullet goes through and hits it, things can start igniting. And guess what? That's going to suck oxygen out of the room. That's going to heat up your ship. It's going to burn your ship, and you get to fight the fires.
It's going to cause problems.
Many problems.
The screen you guys are seeing now, as we blitz through this is the new engineering screen, the new engineering terminal. All the things on here coincide with different parts of your ship, different parts of like your systems. So like the nav and SCM system, you guys can see my mouse right here. Those change back and forth. So when you have all of that one side down, you then can whack all the others up on the other side, or the quantum system on the other side. And
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting thing. Like, just looking at it, my brain hurts because, man, we've had Power Triangle for.
yeah, well, and looking at this right now, you've lost Power Triangle, but you've gained access to things like I think the Wi-Fi symbols, your radar, or like your life support, which is the heart. You can turn those things on and off. And now I'm gonna harken to Starfield because people didn't really like the Starfield power management system, but I feel like this is a better version of the Starfield power system. You have your power plants, and you can basically take your power plant and choose what you want your power to go into.
Yeah.
So you choose.
Sorry, oh, God.
I would say, as opposed to choosing the triangle, this is going to lead to very interesting things, and I would love to see. And I said it to other people. I think I said it. It might have been to Potato the other day, but having these as bars, but also the bars are involved with other pieces on your ship, is going to be so cool. Because if I'm going into what is going to be like the hardest fight of my life in a Gladius, and I'm like, okay, my spacesuit that I'm wearing has 10 minutes of oxygen, whatever. I might just dump the life support on the ship to give me double, or give me 2 points more into shields or something.
Mm-hmm.
And people will be running ship builds like that all over the place.
It's gonna be wild seeing what people do with the power distribution system, and also the benefits, but also the consequences of everything that's gonna happen with it.
Mm-hmm. And I think the idea of being able to change all these things individually is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, they did actually show and speak about the room system technically. With this and with life support coming into those systems, things like fires are going to grab oxygen in spaces, but if you turn life support off, like a fire can't run because there's no ignition. Also, like going onto your ship out of a hot or cold planet, if you depressurize an area of your ship, you have to make sure that your life support has repressurized it once the door is closed, or else it is still just whatever it was outside.
Yep.
Like, for example,
helmets is about to be a lot more important.
This person, like, that was an amazing clip. Hammerhead is entirely on fire. Well, if you don't have a fire extinguisher in hand, or the fire is too much, they have opened the ship to the vacuum space, sucked all air out, and the ship's fire turned out. Like, not turned off, but the ship's fire went out.
It sucks all the oxygen out and completely depressurizes the room and basically just snuffs out the fire.
And it doesn't look like they've got explosive decompression as a thing right now, but like decompression in general is super important. And the clip we were on there of the guy pulling the component out, hard death is not going to be a thing anymore because it's all based on components and it's all based on ship armor.
And I feel like that's something that's super key to understand is your ship no longer just has health, and when it hits 0, you go klabooey. That's no longer a thing.
You need a part in your ship that is significant to go kablooey, to chain reaction other things. So, like, their example now, and I believe more systems will probably get ported to it, but if the power plant goes, and it goes kablooey, that is the only situation in which your whole ship just goes pop.
And this is the really cool part, and I actually love this more than anything about it. So, they're saying, your power plant gets completely ripped apart, it's at 0, it's, it is non-functional, it's gonna blow up. You're not gonna blow up instantly. you're basically gonna have a time limit on there to figure out what's going on, and when you see that, hey, this thing's gonna blow up, you can yank it out and toss it out your ship before it explodes.
Or like repair, like if you have, because they've got an example of it here on screen. If you have repair materials, like you can actually repair the power plant before it goes nuclear. But if you don't, like if you're like, I can't fix it, you're like, poof, everything just goes. It's because it overloads the ships.
And also, this is for all you rescue fans out there. Your lives are about to become a lot more busy because ships dying and not being able to repair is going to be a big thing, and those rescue beacons are going to be popping off.
Well, in our current soft death, where you can hard death a soft death ship, you realistically now, like a rescue is it's cool because a rescue is more than one thing. Oh, my ship is out here. I need somebody to help me get my ship out of here. It doesn't have to be an SRV comes and gets it anymore. If you send a caterpillar with a bunch of dudes in overalls, in the space equivalent to overalls, with their canisters, they'll come over and they'll fix your ship and you're off on your own. You don't have to ride back to a station and do the walk of shame out of some rescue person's ship.
Yep. Yeah, you could get it working bare minimum just to get back to the station and get it repaired.
And rescuers as well are going to need to be infinitely more intelligent how they go about rescuing things. Because right now the biggest thing in rescues is the threat of violence from the rescuee or from somebody in the area. But now, like, not a lot of people are going to know their engineering inside and out. If somebody's like, oh, I'm able to run my power plant at 2% health, you might step onto that ship and there is a ticking time bomb in the corner you have no idea about. So you're going to have to like service that too.
I mean, when you think about that, that's going to be hilarious. Someone comes out, you call your local tow truck company of, yeah, I was in a fight and my ship just already went off. Oh yeah, let me just pop the fuse. Oh, we're about to die.
Well, and that's a question because a lot of these like rescue groups, us included, they use form-based intake for rescues that go out. So that's going to have to be something on whatever form you give your person. Like the fuel rats doing rescue, I'll use them as an example because they're much more significant in the rescue field than us.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to add to their little thing, what is the status of your power plant? And if you have no idea, and you say you have no idea, it's like, we can't put a medic on the ship because the thing could blow.
Mm-hmm. Or it could also be a matter of urgency as well. Like, you have 5 minutes, we need to get someone out to you now.
Yeah, or like, you have 5 minutes, get off the ship. We will get somebody out to you before you suffocate in the black darkness. But that ship is no longer going to happen.
So, I mean, when you really think about it, like you just said there, it's actually going to be a multi-step thing now of, can the ship be repaired? Is it just soft death? Are you, core critical? Are you going to blow up? Can we get somewhere there in time? Is this going to become a ticking time bomb of either the ship or your oxygen levels because you had to evacuate?
Well, and that's another one that Potatoes got, is eject your power plant and we'll come save you. But once they eject the power plant and throw it out of the ship so it doesn't blow up the rest of the ship, then they run into the problem. They have a ship, but they have no life support, they have no gravity, they have nothing. They've lost everything. Well, and that's the thing.
It can become a game of cat and mouse in the sense where you stay in that ship as long as you can before it blows up, so you keep oxygen. Because you also have to remember, they talked about having limited fuel for zero-G movement, and I'm sure oxygen and stuff is going to change with the suits as well.
Well, and your life support system's supposed to handle all of that, but it won't.
Mm-hmm.
If you run out of power, the life support doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's what CIG's trying to do with this, is make the life support matter, make all these other systems matter. You're gonna be Yeah, you're gonna be in some trouble.
Really, right now, the survival aspect of the game is non-existent.
No, it's eating food and walking around.
Versus, oh no, I have 5 minutes of oxygen.
Yeah, we need more than just, oh, I didn't drink my cherry cola today. Now I'm gonna die.
But no, like actual urgent rescues and ship maintenance, repair, and almost like a checklist of like. What's funny enough is basically you're making an accident report now when you send out for help.
Yeah, and you need to give.
Yeah, what
Again,
Fo
you need
just
to get
said.
accurate.
Literally what Fo just said in chat. But
Sorry, my cat knocked over my garbage can. What did Fo say in chat?
said it's almost like AAA. Is your tire busted? Can we fix it? Do we need to bring a spare? Is your engine on fire?
Yeah, like what do we need to bring? Like is the vehicle or equipment we need to bring? Like are we rolling ambulances or are we rolling like a full repair team? Or a salvage ship? Like at that point, is it nothing we can do? We're gonna have to come and like write the motherfucker off.
Well, and when you think about it, it is going to turn into a thing of like bringing something like the SRV or a ship loaded with people ready to like engineer the ship is going to be a group effort now. It's like, oh well, this isn't really worth repairing here. Let's just tow it back. Or hey, we could jumpstart your ship. Your components are like 50% health, but you can get back.
Yeah, like you're gonna be able to get back to a station. I think our or not being the biggest, because like we're not, but we're big enough that we could support any number of things. Your ship's on fire, get out, we'll come send somebody. Your ship has been on fire, get out, we'll send somebody. Your shield's blown, we can come bring a shield.
And CIG, I know you're probably not listening, but I need you to listen. Sell a fire ship. Do it.
Yeah, oh my god.
To.
That would be incredible.
You want to.
Like the ones in Star Wars Episode 3 as they're coming down onto the planet. They just beedo.
Give the ships like, and I still stand by this. If they give the ships unique suits in the ship that you could change into that have no combat armor, but they're fire resistant, and like you could do better in like 0G environments and like high temperature situations, cool. That would be awesome.
Give us actual firefighting suits as opposed to just environment suits.
And just put like 4 extinguishers in the ship. Just make it like a medium fire ship. You would break bank.
That'd be a great ship. You'd make ridiculous bank. And not just a fire ship. I think like if you built a rescue ship that was not designed around medical or towing, like have this thing be like it's got a small tractor beam to manipulate, it's got flame retardant sprayers, it's got an armory, but not the same armory that we would normally have, an armory with firefighting equipment, so designed to carry multi-tools. Like, if it had weapons, I wouldn't be mad, but carry multi-tools, fire extinguishers, all those things. And a small cargo bay for little, like, components that you would need to carry around.
Would be awesome. Would be great.
I would buy that in a heartbeat. No one at CIG is listening. But if that existed as a thing, like a rescue ship, instant. But
I need you to feel this.
Potato says Vulcan. I don't agree. I don't think the Vulcan is that. I think the Vulcan's a repair ship. I don't think it's a rescue ship in this sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be... Well, this is my thing. I don't think it's in a place where it's ready to rescue. I think it's in a place where it's ready to repair large-scale hull damage. I want a rescue ship that is designed from the ground up to try and pull a ship that is SOL out, as opposed to just rescue or repair.
It should be an engineering ship, is what it should be.
Yeah. One, like, I think what could be the coolest thing as well. Like when I said cargo bay, you have a cargo bay for miscellaneous extra components. Give this thing like a freezer box. That's what I would call it, is like a freezer box. They would call it something else. But if a power plant or a piece of equipment is just destroyed, you throw it in the safe, like in the safe room, and you can still take it back to another place, and it stabilizes the component.
That would be awesome.
Or you could work on it. It's like, okay, I am in the oh shit room. I know if an explosion happens in this room, it is not cascading to the rest of my ship, but is likely taking anything else that's in the oh shit room with it, and anyone else that's in the oh shit room.
I know, that'd be cool if it was like I would say a unique room where it's like depressurized almost constantly, so there's no air or anything, so it keeps things from bursting into flames or overheating.
And I'll give Potato credit here where it's due. I think the reason the Vulcan doesn't do this job is all of its equipment is designed around repairing things that are outside of the other ship.
Yeah.
I want a ship that is designed to bring the tools to repair from inside the ship that is in an injured state. Which I think makes sense.
Any ship could do that, but to have a ship with dedicated gear or spots, like, most ships may have a fire extinguisher or two on there. I'm talking about a medium ship where, you have like 6 fire extinguishers and 6, slots of gear to put in specifically for, fighting the fire, getting in, engineering it, going back, and getting ready for the next one.
I think it's genuinely the step above the SRV, because instead of pulling the ship to safety, you are just helping another ship. Well, so Potato, then there's the thing, just shove them in a container. That's valid, but if you made a new ship designed for this kind of rescue, theoretically you could build it with specific chargers for the...
I'll say actually, shoving them in a container doesn't even work.
The
extinguishers need to be at the special ports. That's why I'm saying it should be a dedicated ship where it has more than the average fire extinguishers for that very reason.
Because you could shove them in a container, but then they're all one use. And you'd have to, run the same... I don't know, if you have 20 fire extinguishers, you don't want to have to put them all through the same port on your Caterpillar, one after the other. I want a closet in the motherfuckers that the ship makes sure is okay. And it's like, we ran out of 5 fire extinguishers. This is not going away. Go to the closet and get 5 more.
Yep.
Switch them out. We need more. There need to be more buckets.
But that's the thing, is it is niche. But that's the whole point of making a ship for this very reason.
No, I think there's ways that they could do it. Honestly, the way I see it is a Valkyrie style platform, but you change the Valkyrie ready room, and they could. Oh my goodness, they could even do it with the Anvil Valkyrie. What?
All those turrets would be perfect for a fire. Yep.
Yeah, you take the 2 side turrets on either side, and you make them tractor beam / fire extinguisher, and you
that'd be great.
Turn not the cargo bay, but you turn the vehicle bay into a triage area for components. The Valkyrie's very clearly got space for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have enough space to do like extinguishers and all these things.
I think they should take the area where you would generally sit like all the troops and make it a small engineering area where you can make the components and stuff to repair.
Or even just like a fire ready room. I don't know. I feel like that kind of thing would be really cool and it would sell regardless of how valuable it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know venting the ship is probably the better option, but there's no one that can tell me players aren't going to want to fight fires back themselves despite being able to vent ships.
Well, but here's the thing. Venting ships is an option, but they're making it really seem like a last resort. Because you vent that, the air is out of that room, the temperature is now going to change, and that room has to refill to become livable again.
One, here's the other thing when you think about venting ships. Once you pull the power plant, doors are not going to open unless manually opened. So you're going to need ways to cut in and out of ships. And having a ship designed to be able to cut into other ships as opposed to repair the exterior is important. It would be the greatest pirate ship ever, but they would have to do something to make it not a combatant ship. Probably just give it no guns. Like, rip the guns off.
It may be a niche thing. It may be like a weird thing. And honestly, it's probably not going to happen. But if they make something big enough, like, I don't see a ship like that going out to a small ship or anything. But say like a capital ship or whatnot, that would make total sense to have that crew power.
Yeah, and like I don't think a constellation is getting repaired or like saved by whatever this ship is. I think this ship is going out and saving like caterpillars, idrises, things that cannot be all vented in one go.
Yeah.
Things that are hard to vent in one fell swoop. And things that have more value than being a write-off. Like a Polaris, right? If you're rocking up to a Polaris, this is, we'll call it a 5-man rescue ship. It has space for components. It has space for some gear. Your job is just to make sure that that Polaris gets home because of the costs associated. The insurance company is not going to be happy if it doesn't get home. You are the last line of defense before the insurance payment.
Yeah. And I think that should be an important thing to it as well, is a ship like this would have to make sense where going back and doing the insurance claim or repairing everything because you just let it go to shit should cost so much that your jaw drops.
And I think it's going to.
Like, it seems like that's the direction they're going.
It does seem like it's the direction.
Now, because we talked about this a little bit before, and because I was definitely confused on the wording here. Reality of it is, if you're out there, your component gets shot and you have nothing to repair it whatsoever, your components are dead in the water, you're going to need to go back. Now, originally, they made it sound like, hey, it's dead, you're going to have to replace it. CIG. I hope this is not the case. I'm hoping this is a confusing misunderstanding where it's, you can't fix it, so you have to go back and do a full repair versus a field repair. Because I ain't buying no 100,000 credit pieces to have them get ripped apart and have to buy another one.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna be a nightmare if you have to do that.
I think that would be the wrong direction for the game.
Yeah. But we have hit 7:30. We've talked about a lot. There is a little bit more we could have talked about, but I have to go, unfortunately.
All good.
I hope everybody enjoyed the show this week. We had a good one, we had a short one. Feels like we could have gone even further. We probably didn't budget our time correctly, because we could have gotten more, but...
Yeah, we do that.
But this is a conversation within our community. Now that the conversation has started, I think it's going to be a good one to have with people in chats and channels. And for all LBL community members, or people who are not part of the LBL community, we're going to meet you guys back here in our Discord in about an hour for our hide-and-seek event. We're going to run a quick hide-and-seek, try and see if we can get some fun going in the distribution centers, get a group event going. So if you're looking forward to that, we'll see you there. If you're not looking forward to it, I don't know why. And if you didn't know about it, check our announcements.
And also next week, while there's not a traditional show, we are going to be streaming the Blockade Runner event. So come hang out, see what's going on with that. It's going to be cool.
It's going to be a good time. It's all going to be a good time. And we'll see you guys all Well, I guess we can say we'll see you all next week because we're actually going to be here next week. So, bye bye, Icarus.
Bye bye.
Woo! We'll see you guys all next week.